What do you think about the state of comedy today in regards to the comedians that are out there opposed to 30 years ago when you were coming up? Do you think that the comedians today have the amount of reps, do you think, that you had coming up in regards to like putting in the time, going to these gigs and wherever, a small, performing
like the 10,000 hours from the road and what we had to do.
Is it there anymore, or have we just eclipsed that and now it's, hey, you're funny on Instagram and now you got an audience and we're gonna, or do you think the cream rises, or where are we at?
Oh boy, it's like on one hand, it's a more entrepreneurial world. There's more entertaining people, and they'll do things like podcasts, or they'll have other ways of exploiting their abilities. But as far as like organically what stand-up is, like there is no other way to do it than to go out there and find your voice through a lot of hollow, turbulent, tough, that long drive in between gigs is just as important as the good and the shitty gig.
Mm-hmm. So what was how many? I remember playing the Minneapolis Mall of America and killing, and then walking home through an abandoned amusement park in the mall because it's closed down. It's just like, you think you're having a good comic? Go underneath the Ferris wheel, right? And that's making me stronger than the set, right? Because if you're not gonna kill yourself by the time you hit the parking lot, you'll be back for Saturday shows, and you just grow. Now it's like you said, right?
But more diversity in comedy, which is great, and you see more people that I think are organically funny, and they've earned some kind of confidence through even like their YouTube videos or whatever that is, right? Mm-hmm. Have you been on shows where it's like there's 5 popular people, but they're not honed, and so you're almost like they're laughing, but they don't know what a real comic is yet, but they're laughing, they're enjoying the show. So what does that mean for like, this is where I'll sound like an old head or the old bull, where it's like, I just think that if you came up virtually through comedy, you've only been doing that through that 15-year-old kid who watched a funny person do that, to them, that's comedy. Mm-hmm. And if you're that comic talking to that kid, you're just going to keep growing it differently from how we came up. I hope it's always what we did, but it is different. And I don't like the hybrid. I don't like when it's all kind of like it's a YouTube crowd with that's kind of everybody stuck in one spot. It is what it is, but I just feel like, and I also feel like crowds come out and they're not even expecting you to be as good as you are, because I think that their expectations from
absolutely.
Do you understand? Like,
I think you hit it on the head. Yeah. I think the expectations. It's like I feel like everybody's eating ham, and no one knows what filet tastes like.
Right, yeah. And they come out and they see, and then suddenly you've got a showmanship and an act and the enthusiasm, and on top of just like being somebody who can gab and is interesting. Judd Apatow once said in a Rolling Stone interview that I probably read late at night when I was on the computer and walking on a tread. He said in like a 94 article, why isn't he famous? He was kind of in a weird languishing time, and he goes, because I have no charisma, and Jim Carrey does, and he named it, and he almost came off a little, persnickety about it, but he was like, those guys have something I don't have. And I think he was right. In that era, you had to pay a ticket. I'm sitting here, I want that showmanship. And if the audience is just learning, I just listen to you podcast and gossip and rap, and then they come out and that's all they expect, that's fine. But then you take the stage and they're like, fuck, like this is somebody who's really thought this whole thing out, and it's not just the willy-nilly, isn't the, you're just a celebrity that I know from the YouTube. It's like the old Dennis Miller joke. If you put a peach on TV 24 hours a day, and then you take the peach and walk it around in a wagon, people go, that's the peach from TV. And when he said that, I was like, I don't ever want to be the fucking peach from TV.
I've never heard that. I love that.
Yeah, that's the peach from TV. And you're like, you want somebody who's like, I get goosebumps in these conversations, man, because it's like, you just made my job a little easier, because if you're not going to put in the time, I'm still putting in the time. And I'm the best I've been ever right now, 33 years in. So when you come, you see my show with all the tools and all the now, being able to like be, to go inward, to share so many different, dial it up to so many different places. And it's like, I think it just makes a great comic even better, because there's a lot of flotsam and jetsam out there.